Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. We are the fourth quarter storytellers. We are back again, and we've got some great information and content today. But first, I'm going to say, hey, y'all, I'm Cynthia Merritt. I am a 60-ish year old woman, and I found myself approaching that retirement age, and I had no substantial retirement savings. So, and then I thought about the possibility of living on Social Security for the rest of my life. Oh my gosh, especially what's going on in this environment right now, y'all. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? So that is me. I am Cynthia, and I'll turn it over to Val.
I am Valerie Davis and I am in my 50s. I'm 53 and I am here because I like to talk about growing older and not having enough savings and or having savings and then use them and starting over completely. So I am here for it all. I'm here to give it. I'm here to receive it. Hey, hey, hey.
And today we have a special guest, y'all. We have a special guest, Miss Janet Allen. Janet, would you tell us a little bit about yourself? And then I'll come back to you in a minute so you can come back and tell us your story.
My name is Janet Allen. I was born in the same month and year as Cynthia. I'm 60ish, as she says, as well, and have found myself over the years working contract work using my savings to tide us over
Mhm.
till the next contract. It just doesn't go from one contract to the other always. And so I found myself at the stage and with no retirement savings and ageism being a real thing, trying to secure new contracts. And like Val, I'm here to give and receive.
Right. Hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And of course, we are here as fourth quarter storytellers in this fourth quarter of our lives, telling the stories and giving some tips and tricks on how to make our life and our lifestyle better and more enjoyable for this last quarter. Okay, and what we do is build community with like minded individuals. We
Hmm.
like sharing the information on health and wellness, on lifestyle options, and financial improvement, of course, travel and relocation as well, and much
Hmm.
more. Now, this is a no judgment safe place. So we've got a community of no judgment. And as Brene Brown says, and I always like to quote, for shame to grow, it absolutely needs secrecy, it needs silence, and it needs judgment. And we don't have any of that here. So we are not having that, and we're not having any shame. How about that?
Right.
So we also want you to share all praise reports of any accomplishments that you get while we're all going on this journey together. Okay, so today our content is involving scams. Now, a lot of us are finding ourselves, like Janet was just mentioning, about those contracts that run out. And
Mhm.
Val and I have shared with you that both of us were laid off last year, and I do
Mhm.
contract work. And so my contracts come and go, and so we have to really, really be strategic about how we save
Yes.
and set ourselves up for living once the contracts end.
Hmm.
Well, when you're looking for those contracts, and a lot of us are, or
Hmm.
looking for jobs, contracts, whatever,
Hmm.
um, you're gonna run into some scams. And today we're talking about avoiding scammers with online job boards and using a critical eye and vigilance to protect yourself. Now, many of us were laid off from our jobs, so we're going into this job search and we want to be careful. And financial fraud online scam statistics for 2024, you guys, amounted to about $10 billion. People
Mm.
were scammed out of $10 billion. And just to put that in a relatable number for you, that is the value of the Dallas Cowboys football team, because
Mm.
theirs is 19
Wow.
billion.
Wow.
So if you look at that 10 billion in scam fraud from jobs, people looking for jobs online, in relationship to the value of the Dallas Cowboys, which is like just only 9 billion more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of money in fraud. So it's
Mm-hmm.
extremely high. So those of us who are 50 plus, we have been on our jobs for decades and we're planning to retire from those jobs, and they either laid us off or, the contracts ended and we're finding ourselves searching again. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to offer some tips, and the first thing I want to do, because she has a previous engagement scheduled, I want to make sure to get Janet in to give us her information from her
Mm-hmm.
experience in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Miss Janet Allen, and I
Thank
will
you.
hush.
Thank you, Cynthia. Well, um, I encountered job scams and began to recognize them when I was doing online job boards. And particularly, I think when I did like Career Builder allows you to do a blast of
Mm-hmm.
applications. And I started getting emails. And I got an email that asked me to interview with them on Microsoft Teams, but it wasn't like a video meeting on Microsoft Teams. It was strictly chat. So my first caveat for online job board searchers is if they're trying to interview you via chat only on Microsoft Teams or WhatsApp, that's a big red flag.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on because I really wanted a job. The salary was very desirable. Here's another caveat: if it's like possibly a customer service job or something, but it pays $35 an hour. No customer service job is going to
Mm-hmm.
pay you $35 an hour off the bat. So that's a red flag. I can't remember the salary, whether it was in the 30s, but I went ahead and engaged in this online text only Microsoft Teams interview. And the interview questions were thorough. They were not suspicious at all. He typed his questions. I gave my answers. This went on for I know over 30 minutes, and then there was a period of silence. They asked me to hold on, and they came back and congratulated me that they wanted to ask me to join the team. I think this is another red flag. You get hired on the spot. Um, it
Absolutely.
used to be back in the day, you could go
Mm-hmm.
to a job fair and go away with a job, but there's
Yeah.
not a lot of on the spot hiring going on.
Mm-mm.
So there's my third red flag. So then they asked me to meet them again on Teams at 8 the next morning. And I did. And they told me that they were going to send me a check to purchase my equipment
Yeah.
and a proprietary program that they use to do the work. Red flag again, people. If
Mm-hmm.
they want to send you a check to buy your equipment, why can't they just send you the equipment?
Come on.
On other contracts that I've been on, I've never had that happen before. So um, he sends me an email with a PDF of a check.
Mm.
Okay, red flag. I mean, the alarms are going off. The fire trucks are here now. What I did though is I called the bank that the check was supposedly written on
Mhm.
and spoke to someone, and they confirmed for me that it was indeed a fraudulent check. I forwarded it to their fraud department, so I hope they, slowed down or hopefully shut down that scammer. And I let the person know that that I checked with the bank and the bank said the check was fraudulent. And then the person responded back with, I knew you couldn't be trusted. You'll be reported. So fear mongering, I guess, was their last
Oh my
tactic.
goodness.
Yes.
To I don't know what they were trying to accomplish because they had
Yes.
been made, I
Exactly.
Mhm.
I identified the person as a scammer, and
Right.
I guess they just had to say something caustic on the way out.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly. Or that fear could have worked for someone to not report them. you
That's
know?
true.
Yeah,
Correct. But
yeah,
who are they reporting me to? Their
exactly. Oh,
fellow
yeah.
scammers.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah, so that was my employment scam experience. I also started getting more, watchful and vigilant after that because that wasted a lot of my time
mhm.
and gave me false hope that I was getting ready to end my unemployment. Uh,
Right.
I notice I get emails that say the hiring manager wants to talk to you. Why
Yes.
can't we name this hiring
Uh,
Right.
manager?
Right.
mhm.
Also, I notice if in the salutation of that email, there's no phone number.
Mm,
There's an
mm-hmm.
email, and sometimes I will even Google
Mm-hmm.
the company that their email address is
Mhm.
attached to,
Yep.
Mhm.
um, and Reddit will let you know, or some trust advisor will let you
Mm-hmm.
know if
Mhm.
this company has been reported as a scam.
Okay.
Um, Also, if that email salutation is a Gmail address. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if it's a legit company, I believe it's going to have at
Right. The company
legitcompany.com.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for me.
Wow.
Wow. Thanks, Janet. That is
Hmm.
some great information there.
That is. That's some
Yeah.
good information, and it makes me recall several times I've received emails like that in reference to the Zoom chat meetings, interviews, and receiving an email from what you think is, since we've done the contract work for IES, I've been receiving emails from different companies, but when you get the email, there's no phone number, like what she's saying. There's not a phone number.
Mm.
And you go and Google the company, and you can tell that it's so spotty. It is so spotty. And then the phone number, if you find the phone number, it rings and then it cancels out. It rings and then it's
Mm.
canceled out. So
Mm.
you can't even
Right,
get
right.
anyone. So then now I'm responding to the email and no one ever replies back. No one says
Wow.
anything at all. And then I remember once before, Cynthia, I think that you were saying like what their actual email is. And when you look at some of the emails, it may have I went back to look at it. It may have, I have it right here, you just can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it may have the business name.
Mm-hmm.
It has the business name, the person's name, but then it may have um a doobie at IB at and then business.com. So you
Mm.
so you know that's
Right. It's sending
yeah.
you somewhere else and somewhere else. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. So
yeah.
it was just it's so much of that stuff that's going on, and it's really sad because when you're looking for a position
I know.
and you're needing a position, so you got your hopes all up,
Yep.
and then that doesn't happen, and
Right.
then
And
Correct.
we're vulnerable, and so they prey on us. Yes.
and
And
it's
they
like they
know
see
that.
what's
And
out
that's,
there. Yeah, they
yeah.
see that what we're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just play on it. And even I got one yesterday from about what's from WhatsApp,
Mm. Okay. Okay.
and I keep getting them. And like you said, Miss Janet, that salary for what they're asking you to do is just
Uh-huh.
Mm.
crazy.
And did you get one
Hmm.
of those too, Val, where they asked you to buy the equipment? They sent
I've
you,
gotten one of those like last year. And
really?
they sent, yeah, I got one of those last year. But I wanted to see because I'm a little crazy sometimes. I want to see how
You just
far
want
it's
to
gonna
see?
go.
Okay.
So I had them send me the check. They sent me the check.
It was a real check.
They a real check.
Did you take it to the
Well, let
Hmm.
bank
me
and
tell you
ask
this.
them if it was
Let,
real?
let me tell you this. It was not a real check because on our real checks, you can look at the numbers and how they're spaced out at the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Hmm.
you got that little thing on the back that they can tell if it's a real check.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It was not in it wasn't in the right placement. And the
Okay.
only reason
Hmm.
I
Mm.
knew that I took that to my bank for them to
Oh,
tell
Hmm.
me
yeah.
this is what you can look for
Okay.
on these
Hmm.
checks. So then I never did respond back to anything and I just tore the little check up. But
Hmm.
it's amazing how they go so far.
No.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
go so far. I'm like,
Because
so
we're vulnerable and they know that they can get away with it, and
mhm,
it's about to get, and I'm so glad we're doing this is so
mhm,
timely, you guys, because
yeah,
it's about to get worse. You know how the government now is laying off a ton of government employees right now.
Hmm.
So people are going to
mhm.
be in the job market, and
Oh
and
yeah,
Hmm.
a lot of those are going to be people in our demographic. They're going to
yeah.
be
Hmm.
people who have been on their jobs for decades,
Mhm,
about to retire, and all of a sudden now they're saying, take this buyout or whatever. Hopefully they don't,
Yes.
the people don't fall succumb to that. But anyway, so we're going to talk about, first of all, researching the employer. And Janet
Mm-hmm.
was talking about that. Val just talked about that. The company website, always verify that company website, make sure the company is a legitimate company.
Mm-hmm.
Visit their official website. Just go on the website, and if they don't have a website, or even like Val was just talking about the email address, if the website looks like it's poorly made, that's a
Mm-hmm.
red
Mm-hmm.
flag. Pay attention to any job offering money or wants you to pay dollars using a gift card, or like
Yep.
Janet said, asking you to buy a laptop using
Mm-hmm.
this check that they sent you. And just know that we don't pay for anything when we're looking for a job. We
Mm-hmm.
don't pay for
Correct.
equipment. They send you a laptop, and I'm like Val. They always send me that laptop before I get
Yes.
ready, and
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
you don't have to buy anything, and they're not going to be sending me any check for anything that I haven't worked for already. And
Right.
then social media presence, you guys. Make sure they have a social media presence. Look on LinkedIn. Everybody, every organization should be on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
and just check and make sure that they're active and they have a professional media social media account. Scammers usually lack genuine social media activity, so if you don't see that, the red flag, they might be a scammer. And
Mm-hmm.
then you also want to look for some reviews about the company. If you do find a company name when you're doing the research, look at some reviews. Look at Glassdoor, Indeed,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Trustpilot, just to make sure that they have some reviews, and always look for the good reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And if it has a urgency, you guys. If they're saying
Mm-hmm.
act now, it's urgency. The job offer expires after 3 to
Right.
5 days of doing an application.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
If they have unrealistic pay, like Janet was just talking about that customer service job that paid $30 an hour. Customer service jobs don't usually pay $30 an hour. So if
Mm-hmm.
it's unusually high pay,
Mm-hmm.
and minimal work or skills, because nobody can get job, no real job that's paying you a decent salary is going to hire you if you have absolutely no
That's
experience
good.
at all in
Mm-hmm.
Can I
anything.
cut in, Cynthia?
Absolutely.
Um, when you were talking about researching the company, it reminded me of I don't know how I got the initial invitation. I might have gotten it via text message, not email. So I couldn't check the email tag of the person. And they wanted to meet me on WhatsApp for this so-called interview.
Yeah.
And they said that the job was with Harrods, which is the company in London, the retail company,
Mm-hmm.
find
Okay.
things in London. So
Mm-hmm.
they were saying they're representing a legitimate company, but she kept on spelling it Harold's, like the man's name, Harold. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, is it Harrods? Because I'm trying to look it up while I'm on WhatsApp with her. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, is it Harold's or Harrods?
Okay.
And, she was being very sketchy in her responses and continued to make the mistake of
Mm-hmm.
calling it Harold's instead of
Okay.
Harrods. And of course, that scared me away. And I ended up just ending the conversation without letting her know. I just blocked her on WhatsApp and went about my day.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that, Janet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's something that now that you guys have mentioned that, I think I would be skeptical. Skeptical. Am I saying that right? Is it
Skeptical.
skeptical? Why is
Skeptical.
that not
Uh-huh.
sounding right when I'm? But
Yeah.
I would be skeptical about something that's coming across WhatsApp.
Yes.
What?
Yes,
What?
absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that would
Most
be
definitely.
somebody who's international, it's
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
global
Mm-hmm.
company, and that's just not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Unfortunately,
I've
you
had
get them
other
all the time.
companies. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, no.
Yeah. I was going to say I've had other scammers use a legitimate company's name,
Hmm.
but again, they don't have an email with that company's name at the tag of their email address.
Okay.
You know, they may have a Gmail address. So it's like, you know, why don't you have an email with the company if you are hiring for that company?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That
Okay.
is
And
so
then
true.
another one is, oh, were you going to say something, Belle?
No, I was just saying that's true about the WhatsApp. I get them so often, and I just delete them. I can go through my
Mm-hmm.
phone and I can just find them, and they're talking about these outrageous pay rates and
Mm-hmm.
making references to companies that you may know about, but you have to
Mm-hmm.
contact them on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. I can find so many. I could even forward something you got an email a little later, just so that you can see,
Mm-hmm.
because I get them daily,
Mm-hmm.
That
daily,
is so
daily.
bizarre. That
daily.
is so bizarre. I
Yeah.
promise you, I have never gotten anything from WhatsApp.
Hey,
That
let me
is
tell you.
interesting.
Let me read this one to you. This one I got on
Okay.
Wednesday, and then I'll let
Okay.
you finish. It comes from a regular number of 404-920-0927.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said there's Atlanta Center for Medical Research.
Mm.
And they're telling you that their compensation is $3,000 a week.
Oh,
But in order
goodness.
for you to get more information, they need you to contact them on WhatsApp. If you have
Mm-hmm.
any
Wow.
questions and like to participate,
Wow.
you have to contact them on WhatsApp.
Wow.
So they just didn't do, I mean, I get them like when I say daily every other day, I get just so much of this stuff. It's
That
ridiculous.
is so
It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
ridiculous.
That's why
Oh.
the rate of fraud
Mm-hmm.
for these jobs is $10 billion because people
Mm-hmm.
are vulnerable and they're falling for that.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Mm-hmm.
Janet.
You made me think, Val, of another scam that I've seen often. You're like a shipping agent or something like that, and they're gonna send you packages, sealed packages that you're supposed to open and verify that nothing's broken, everything's okay. Seal it back up and
Yeah.
take it to the post office or to FedEx or UPS to have it forwarded on, which makes zero sense. So if the job duty doesn't make sense, no matter how much they say they're going to pay you, because originally made me think of a Val because they were paying like $3,000 or $5,000 a month or something like that. But daily, you were supposed to receive packages, open them up, inspect them, seal them back, and then you could be going to UPS, postal office, and FedEx all in the same day. And I just,
Right.
whatever they were paying, I wasn't trying to be, making deliveries. But I don't know what they expected to accomplish with that scam. But
Oh, I'll tell
that
you
was
what
a
they
scam.
expected to accomplish with that scam, like the $10 million in fraud, because there's so many people who are vulnerable and they're
Hmm.
looking for a job. And when
Hmm.
you read that, if you read that, you
Hmm.
say, "Oh," and you're really desperate for a job. You've been looking
Hmm.
for weeks and everything, months.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, "Oh, this is easy. I could do this. I could do this
Hmm.
and get another job too,"
Mm-hmm.
and they would
Mm-hmm.
fall for it because that's why they're successful at it. Those are the
Hmm.
people who would fall for that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't follow it far enough to find out if I had any investment in it. Because like I said, I don't know what they really expected to gain from me by sending me packages and having them forward them on. And
Right.
why don't they inspect the package from the shipper?
Mm.
Why does there need to be a middleman
Right.
from shipping the package? And I don't know whether it's shipping it from overseas and then you're shipping it from your
Right.
location makes it um domestically
Right. Sticking it to you. Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's
And
probably when they would have
mhm.
like, say, okay, now I'm going to send you this check and you take it to your bank, and then they can start
Right.
asking for your banking
Right.
information. So
Right.
now they have
Correct.
access to your bank. I'm
Right.
thinking that's
Mhm,
how it all plays.
Right.
mhm,
Yeah. Yeah. That's so interesting. Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Janet. But another one is vague job description. So if the job description is too general or if
Mhm.
it lacks detail about the role and responsibilities, and if it sounds too good to be true, like those $3,000 and the one Janet just talked about, where all you have to do is open the package,
Uh-huh.
look at it, make sure that it's nothing, everything's fine and legit, and then you then take responsibility for it at this point of
Right.
destination or
Mhm.
origination, because now you're
Mhm.
sending it somewhere else and it came from
Mhm.
Mhm.
Atlanta or whatever. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's giving them what they need to move it
Yeah.
along in their scamming.
Mhm.
Okay, and then we've also talked about already never paying for job, no fees. Any legitimate employer is not going to have you paying for the job training. Um, background check. Background check. I've always been wary of paying for a background check, and I know that I was talking to Val about
Mhm.
an
Mhm.
opportunity where they asked you to pay for the background check. But so, what is your thought on that, Val?
I'm not as weary because I've I've seen it happen. Whereas they will ask you to pay for your background check, it's not a problem.
Okay,
And sometimes some companies may reimburse you, and then
okay,
sometimes they will just pay for the background check. And being that the service that I've opened, we do background checks, so
right,
it's not that uncommon for
yeah.
them to say, "Okay, you pay for it." It's not that uncommon.
Oh,
So
okay,
so
okay,
so now so that part would kind of make me a little worried. I wouldn't know which direction to think. I wouldn't know. I would need to know more of a red flag for that in particular.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. For that
But
particular
I think
company.
a
Mm-hmm.
red flag with that is if you had to pay $100 or $200 for the
Oh,
background check.
yes.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
25,
Because we all
$30.
But
know a
like 25 or
background check,
$30, is that what
Mhm.
yeah,
that?
is
Okay,
around 30,
okay,
42 at the
Yes.
very
okay,
most.
Yes.
okay.
Yes. That is correct. You're right. Yeah. Minimum $25 to $40 background
Mhm.
check. Yeah. When you say
Mhm.
100 or something, then yeah, I'm like,
Mm-mm. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, gotcha.
good idea. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that information, guys. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the next one, requesting any of your banking information, and you
Oh yeah.
haven't even been hired yet, and want your bank number, your routing number, your account
Yes.
number, like you getting ready to get set up on direct deposit, and they haven't even
Mhm.
sent you a letter, an offer letter.
Mm.
Mhm. True.
So yeah, that's something. Be careful with your information.
Mhm.
So
Um,
so that's with these online jobs. You
mm-hmm,
really got to be careful there because a
yeah,
lot of them ask for that when you're going online, like the one you and I was talking about, Cynthia,
mm-hmm,
and you're going through and you're starting to input your information. They're gonna do your background check, and then they're gonna say direct deposit. Do your direct deposit, um, and then they start sending you the people that you can work for. Um,
Mhm.
Arise is like gonna name these two that I know for sure that
mm-hmm.
are that does it Arise and Live Ops. But
Okay,
I also know people that work for these
okay,
two companies, so that's why I wasn't reluctant to do so. But if
Mhm.
it's something that I don't know about,
Mhm.
someone is not working it, then I
mm-hmm.
will most definitely be weary about giving my banking information.
Okay,
Mhm.
You know,
okay,
so
gotcha.
so yes, it's like you're saying, doing your research, see if anyone else that you know is working at this company before you just give out that pertinent information.
Okay,
Mhm.
and that brings me to another point. If you're doing these online job searches,
Hmm.
be in community with people that you trust, so you can ask people.
Yes.
Hey, have you
Uh-huh.
ever heard of this? Have you?
Mhm.
Because the what word of mouth is priceless.
Powerful.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, so
Mhm.
speaking, that takes us to the next point: communication patterns. Generic emails. Be wary about generic emails, like Janet just said, like Gmail, Yahoo, rather than the professional company's name. And now
Mhm.
people promoting the company and the brand rather than the results.
Mhm.
So watch out for recruiting. If they're
Mhm.
talking about, oh, we're the best, XYZ company is the best, we do a
Mhm.
100,000 a year, da, 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 and they're
Mhm.
promoting
Mhm.
the brand rather than the results. But you can always
Right.
use your common sense and take that company and go and do the research and see what it is. Hone in on what they're hiring for and see what
Mhm.
those positions actually are. Just do the research, you guys. Today is the age of research. And I told my sons when they were growing up, I always told them, you guys are lucky because you have Google. Google is your best
Yes.
friend. You can Google.
Mhm.
We don't have to ever not know anything. If I
Yeah.
ever say to myself, and I talk to myself a lot, and my son tells me a lot, Mom, you're not talking to yourself, you're just thinking out loud. And I'm like,
That's
that sounds good because that's really what I'm doing. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm ever thinking in my head, I wonder what XYZ, you never have to do that. Just type it into Google and then you have the
mhm,
answer all of a sudden. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just Google all these companies, when they're talking about their brands and their results. Watch out for MLMs because anyone who
Mm-hmm.
is recruiting, they're recruiting, and you could probably
mhm,
make some money if you
Mm-hmm.
bring more people on, if you go
mhm,
into recruiting. So it's not a job that's paying
Mm-hmm.
you for doing a job. It's a
right.
Mm-hmm.
job for you recruiting to bring more people in. So be careful for the MLMs and the
Yeah.
poor grammar. That's a number. That's so easy, isn't it,
Yes,
you
and
guys? Isn't it?
spelling.
One, yes,
Yes.
that's number one right there.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it's crazy. It's like, oh my gosh, look how they're using this word in the sentence, and yeah, because if it's
Mm-hmm.
professional, they're going to spell check and do everything they need to do before they send that email out.
Mhm,
So put
Correct.
on your dictionary and thesaurus hats and get busy.
Mm-hmm.
And
mm,
any anonymous instructors, like if you're paying for a class and you see a class, but they don't list in, they give you financial results that you should get
mhm,
from taking this class. And of course, this class is going to be a substantial cost to you, but they're
Mm-hmm.
going to give you all these results that you'll get. But
Mm-hmm.
the instructor is not listed as someone that you know. It's
Mm-hmm.
anonymous. They don't even
Mm-hmm.
give the instructor's name. So
Mm-hmm.
be careful for those guys.
exactly. Mhm.
Yep, 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 yep. Okay, so we've got the poorly written actually emails,
Mhm,
and now the last one I want to, well, not the next one I want to talk about. This is not the last one, but don't accept any in-person meetings with unknown individuals.
oh my goodness.
That's a good one.
Yep,
That's oh
you
my
need
God.
to know who you're getting ready to meet with. Val, do you have experience on that? You're shaking your head.
I
Oh my god.
I have not had any experience, but I've known people who have had experience with that.
Okay.
To the point whereas they were not thinking about it and was on their way and just so happened to make a phone call and then someone else is talking to them and it's like, so if the company is data is if the company is on 115 Peachtree and at the NBA building or whatever, why are you having to meet them at what is going on? Oh, they're saying what they were just going to be coming out of meeting from there and we're going to meet there. That doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
Make it make sense. Listen to what they're saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're actually driving to where they are.
Mm-hmm.
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 There's no one that has an actual office in a building, has an office, and
Mm-hmm.
ask you to meet them elsewhere. You're coming, you need to go to that actual place where the business is in order for you to have that interview. There's no reason for you to meet them
Mm-hmm.
anywhere else. Absolutely.
Right.
So
That is true. Now let me say this. And this is where Google is going to be your best
Mm-hmm.
friend again
yes, Lord.
because I just started with a new real estate company for military families, Veterans
Mhm,
United. I'm excited. But
mhm,
they're based out of St. Louis. So here in
mhm,
Atlanta, I have a an office. What is it called? It's slipping my mind right now. Satellite office.
like
Satellite,
a
yeah.
virtual. Mhm,
Right. So my satellite office is in Snellville. So that's where I can meet my clients and go there and do anything I need to do in the office. So that's
mhm.
not uncommon. That's a legit
Right.
Mm-hmm.
real deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the key is because you can go online and Google it and you
Mhm,
see the address for my office in Snellville that's associated to my email and everything. So you can see it's legit and see it's part of this company, Veterans
Mm-hmm.
United. And and so you could, if you Google, you can see the things that are actually real and the things that are not. Because some satellite locations will be, offering an interview. Well, we're not going to be doing
mhm.
any interviewing,
Right.
but meeting marketplace for
Right.
clients, say, but they
That's
can
true.
trust it because hopefully they're Googling it, when they
Mm-hmm.
want to meet with me as their realtor. But anyway,
Oh,
That's
I
true.
want to tell a story. This was
shoot.
decades
Mm-hmm.
ago, and they're
Mm-hmm.
probably not doing this kind of thing these days because of technology and being able to vet a company before you do anything with them. But this was a marketing, quote unquote, position, and I met the people and had a nice little interview in a downtown office, and then they were going to take me on like a trial or something, visit or whatever. I got in a car with these people and they drove me to Tyrone, Georgia, about an hour away from the city. Got us. It wasn't just me. It was me and maybe
Yes.
two or three other people, and they got us out of the car, popped the trunk, gave us boxes of fragrances. And you remember back in the day, people used to approach you in the shopping center parking
They
lots
still
to,
do it Christmas time.
okay, well, this is what they did. And they, drove me that far away and had me doing something I didn't dream I'd want to do, or that I thought this job was. And, I had to stay out there with them until they were ready to bring us back to the city. And I told them, this is really not what I had in mind, and this is not a marketing position I am interested in. But,
Right.
they could have taken me out to somewhere and killed me.
Exactly.
I
Especially when they
trusted
pop the
them.
trunk.
Uh huh.
That is scary. That is scary.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it does fall under marketing because it's going to be the sales when you're trying to get out there in the parking lot trying to sell this.
Right.
And you know what?
Wow.
Now though, they really are warning against those because I've never done it. People have always approached me in the holiday season to sell
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
those fragrances, and they want you to smell them. But then a couple of years ago, they started putting something in them that'll knock you out. And when you
I've
Mm-hmm.
seen
smell
the
them,
Mm-hmm.
emails about
pass
that.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they can
Mm-hmm.
put you in the car and take you away and then
Yeah.
put you on the market for
Yeah.
traffic,
And
Sex
even
human
trafficking.
traffic.
right.
Yeah.
And even
Mm-hmm.
touching it. And even just
Yeah.
by
Oh,
touching it,
really?
something could, yeah.
Okay.
And it
Okay.
could yeah. So I'm very weary about that. I'm very weary about touching people's hands when
Okay.
I'm in Walmart. Oh, hey, or a CD, they how they approach you. Oh, I have the
Mm-hmm.
CD, and they try to. I
Yes.
don't want to touch anything
Yeah.
that you have because I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's
Right.
going to happen, what's on there.
Right.
It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
it's
with those
about that.
CDs, I always tell them, I am so happy for you. I wish you good luck, but no, I can't buy.
Uh-huh, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh
Oh my
gosh, that's
goodness.
a good,
Mm-hmm.
interesting thing. Okay, and then just securing your personal information, you guys. So be sure to limit your personal details. Don't share your personal information like your social security number, bank
Mm-hmm.
account details, or any sensitive data because you could be if you know that this is a legitimate employer and they've offered you a job, they have offered you a job, they have offered you a job, then you can give up your information.
Information.
Other than that, you don't need to do that. And then job application, only provide the details that are necessary for the
Mm-hmm.
process in that application. And
Mm-hmm.
then using trusted job boards, use the ones that are well known like
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, and look for sites that are related to your industry. And that's going to help you prevent scams. Do you guys know of any job boards other than those three that I listed that are good?
I'm,
Um,
I'm not
Go ahead.
I'm not familiar with any other, Cynthia, but I do want to mention this with an
Okay.
Indeed. As a concierge, I was looking for concierge positions,
Mm-hmm.
and so now that's a lot of that will come up, and I get sent these emails from Indeed. But
Mm-hmm.
what's happening is, and I don't know if you guys have experienced this, it's sending me companies, lots of travel companies and things of that nature. But when you are scheduling an appointment or interview, they're all in group settings, right? All
Mm-hmm.
in group settings, and they're asking you to give X amount of dollars right now, today, right now, at that
Mm-hmm.
moment. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't give it right then the fee is gonna go up. So here to me, that's kind of a scamish type deal to me. But in this, I've
Mm-hmm.
gotten it from Indeed, and they keep coming from me for me. So I don't know if that's something new that's going on or whatever. But
Oh, there are scammers on the
Yeah.
legitimate job
They're on
boards.
there.
okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
There
a
are
whole lot of
scammers
that that's
on
going on.
LinkedIn and
Okay.
Indeed and
Glassdoor. Yeah.
stuff. They infiltrate, and there are warnings,
Yeah.
at least on LinkedIn, from recruiters and
Okay.
different people saying beware. And
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
they you can report a scam
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
to LinkedIn,
Okay.
and probably to Indeed too.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
so that brings us back to this point, and I'm glad we're doing this because
Mm-hmm.
that brings us back to the point. You don't pay for anything.
Anything. Exactly.
Exactly,
Nothing.
Exactly.
exactly.
When you're
Not
looking
even
for
the
a
Mm-hmm.
job.
job board. I'm weary of job
Me
Mm-hmm.
boards
too.
that cost you money. Cause flex jobs. I mean,
Oh
I've
yeah.
somebody's paid for me once for a year on flex job. I didn't find anything, and then I paid for like a 14-day free trial.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not even flex jobs, which appears to be so legit. I don't
Mm-mm.
know.
No, no, no. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So and with flex jobs, I did go on there and I did when I saw that I had to pay something, I didn't do it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not paying for a job. There are too many jobs out here that you could get that you
Hmm.
don't have to pay for. I've never
Exactly.
paid for a
To
job like
find
that.
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Exactly.
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 So
So,
the
but yeah.
bottom line is when we getting ready to end is trust your gut, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your gut. If something feels off in any of these items that we have talked about today, or something else just in your spirit doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel right about this job opportunity, and it raises your doubt, trust your instincts. Be
Exactly.
cautious and do not risk for falling for these scams, you guys, and become part of that $10 billion in fraud.
Mm.
Don't do it.
Amen.
Don't do
What
it.
are
Don't
you
do
talking about?
it. And
Mm.
speaking of amen, Janet, I know Val has got to lead us to the word. She ends us with the
And
good word every time.
I am. So today, first of all, I want to thank God that we made it to see February. All right.
Yes. And happy Black History Month, you
Happy
guys.
Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. We came into January. January threw us some curveballs, but we are
Yes.
here to February. February 2nd. Prayer and peace comes from Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. All of us that are looking for those jobs, we're letting it known to God. All of us that's looking for that savings, we're letting it be known to God. All of us that need change, we are letting it be known to God. May God keep you and bless you. Y'all have a great day.
Oh, thank you,
Amen.
Val. That sent chills in through my body when you started reading that because it's so applicable to what we're
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
about today. Thank you
It
so
Mhm.
much.
is.
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us again
Y'all have
for
a
the
good day.
4040 Storytellers. If
Bye.
I can get it out.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.